That this is welcome to Teachers Teaching Teachers 617. It is, what is it, May 29th. And Sam Reed is dragging us into Curio. And the founder and head Curio person, I guess, is with us. And Kip is with us. Ashley and Kip, we know Sam a little more here on Teachers Teaching Teachers. You guys don't know, but we meet every Wednesday evening like this. Many times it's a casual conversation or unplanned conversation about some of the things we're doing on a site called youthvoices.live, and other kinds of curriculum building we do around with different folks in the National Writing Project and beyond. Let's start. And I teach I taught for 31 years in New York City and now consult in a couple of different schools in the Bronx and in Manhattan, and work with the New York City Writing Project and National Writing Project. Sam, do you want to introduce yourself as quickly and briefly as that, and then we'll get to Kip and Ashley.
Yeah, this is Sam Reed. Thanks for having us again. Teacher, Philadelphia. My tag is I teach students to read, write, and make sense of the world. I teach at the U School. It's an innovative high school in Philadelphia. And I came across Curio and instantly got connected with like some awesome folks that we're going to meet. We kicked off the first happy hour. I'm glad to say we did it in Philly, but it looks like it's getting better and better. So I'm excited to hear the traction that we're having around the country, just getting teachers to convene and curate. So yeah, let rest of the folks jump in there.
So Kip.
Hi guys, thank you guys so much for allowing me to join the conversation. And can you guys hear me? Okay.
We can. Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So I was a Spanish teacher leader in Kentucky for 15 years. Just moved to Colorado last summer, and have been on many adventures with Ashley. And throughout this past year, I stepped out of the classroom to take on some different roles. One of which is Director of Marketing Attraction for Curio, and it's been amazing. I have learned a ton, and just excited to support educators and love what you guys are doing in Philly. This is exciting to be here. Thank you so much.
Cool. Welcome. Thank you. Ashley.
Yeah, my name is Ashley Lamb-Sinclair, and like Kip, I was a teacher leader for 14 years in Kentucky, National Board Certified. I did the writing project as well. I was an English teacher, so all about that. I was the 2016 Kentucky Teacher of the Year. Somewhere along that path over the past 3 years, I got this crazy idea to build an app, and that's where we are today with Curio and Teach Like a Rebel, and meeting awesome people like Sam and being able to bring great teacher friends like Kip along for the ride.
And Ashley and Kip asked me if there any prep they needed to do for the show. And what I said was just lead me through as a new teacher, and so we can kind of see what Curio is. But what I thought to do is just ask the two of you right before we started recording, talked about where you're coming from and what you're doing tomorrow. So why don't we start there? What is a happy hour in Denver? Kip.
Okay, so and real quick, I can hear both of you guys. I cannot hear Ashley. Can you guys hear Ashley okay?
We can, yep.
Okay. Just was as an FYI, I didn't want recording to go awry there. But
you can hear her, right, Sam? It's not just
yeah, I can hear.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. No worries. Just wanted
nothing
to check
personal,
in.
is it?
So Curio Happy Hour was born out of, and if it's okay with Ashley, I'll just give it makes more sense if I give a little bit of the background.
Yeah, sure.
But
yeah, please interrupt my thoughts and my questions and go wherever you'd like.
And then I'll have, and Ashley, you can kind of just fill in anything that I miss. But basically off of Ashley's Uber girl boss win back in November, part of her winnings that came from that to help support Curio were in Uber credits. And Ashley and I were chatting about, how can we give back or support teachers for all the hard work they do, the day-to-day grind in the classroom, and use these credits for something super positive. And so out of that, Ashley had the brilliant idea of let's do Curio happy hours. Why not take these credits and use these credits in different cities across the country, provide some teachers with some Uber Eats. You know, we all love to convene and enjoy some good food together. What a great way to drive some great conversation. And then out of the conversation, offer up some protocols if teachers are interested in following, but kind of be super loose and basically convene those teachers around what is working best or what issues their kids may be coming across in the community, and what best practices they're doing to create solutions for those kids. And then we sit back and learn from the experts, which are the teachers around the U.S., and then drive that conversation within the Curio community. For example, in Denver today, the conversation revolved around, honestly, in their school and teacher retention. It was crazy because their school is a very, it's an amazing school, amazing kiddos who are coming from super challenging backgrounds. And they've driven such a solid and positive community that the teacher retention is well beyond other schools. And so we talked about what they're doing there, what is going on that is making these teachers want to come back to work every day. And I learned a ton. So I'll stop there. My apologies if I'm talking too much, but it was amazing. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah, nothing like food to show teachers respect. So that's that's cool. Cool. Ashley, give us a little background, or say whatever. Jump in, Gus.
No, I was just going to jump in and say again. I'm going to just give Ashley the credit for like kicking the happy hour off in Philly, because we were convening our teacher action group, our annual, our 10th anniversary. And she's like, you know what? I want to come to Philly. And I'm like, yeah, you know, if you come to Philly and we do happy hour, we'll do happy hour in Philadelphia. So being the kickoff was special. So I just wanted to share that. But Ashley can tell we did one in New Mexico. She can talk about that as well.
Well, honestly, Sam kicked it off and Kip's taking the lead. But I will add to that, even before the Uber boss, the girl boss win, I taught in 4 different schools over that 14-year period when I taught. And
Ashley, you just muted by accident, I think.
oh,
There you
we
go.
go.
You're back. Okay.
So the best times for me were when I would meet with my teacher crew, you know, on Friday or, you know, Thursday at the end of the week, and we would all kind of talk about the week, and we talk about, the kids, and we really kind of help each other, and a lot of great ideas came out of that. So that was always my experience. I always had this great community in every school, and it kind of happened around a happy hour. I think that's partially because, you know, a lot of times we have professional learning communities and stuff in school, but they can be really buttoned up. And there's this sense of like, I have to be uber professional. I have to do things a certain way. Whereas like a happy hour is more loose and creative. And that's kind of the idea behind Curio, is the authentic learning, the authentic creation that teachers are doing. And so it was like, what if we bring that to life? And I always joke that if I were going to get a PhD instead of being an entrepreneur, I probably would, my dissertation would be on happy hours. Because I actually really, truly believe there's a lot of powerful work that happens in authentic settings where teachers are kind of left to their own devices to create and work together.
Cool. So that seems to be the philosophy of Curio, would you say? Or so far, a philosophy of Curio is what you just laid out there, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Let me check. Kip, are you hearing Ashley at this point?
So
No.
when
I'm still not hearing her, but so I'm trying to like read lips the best that I can.
Paul,
yeah,
when you said I went muted, I got a notification that Kit muted me. So I don't know if like something weird is backwards over there. I don't know.
Kip, do you want to try to log out and I'll send you another invitation? See if that works.
Yeah, if that's okay, sure.
Yeah.
Sounds perfect. Okay.
As long as Ashley and let's try that.
Thank you.
Turn it off and turn it on again is all I know how to do.
But to your point, Paul, or do you want me to wait for Kip to come back?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, to your point about, the philosophy of Curio. I mean, the heart, here's how Curio came to be. I was a teacher in my classroom. I got the invitation from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It came through my email of, hey, teachers, how do you solve professional development virtually? Well, I deleted the email because I don't care about it. It actually, ironically, it came from Kip because Kip was on the teacher advisory committee at the time for Gates. So I get this email. It kind of is implanted in my head. I go home. I spend 6 hours on my computer Googling like a mad woman, going to Twitter, going to Facebook, finding all the stuff to do really cool, innovative stuff in my classroom. And every school where I was, I never taught the same lesson twice in the same way. You know, I was just that kind of teacher. And so I went to bed that night and I literally realized I just spent 5 hours on my couch doing professional development, trying to be a better, more creative, more innovative teacher. And it was completely invisible. Nobody saw it. It happened by myself. So that really was the idea. I didn't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to create an app for teachers, right? It came from this problem and this recognition of what I was doing, the behavior that I was doing, the things I was doing. So then I thought, well, what if there were a way to bring all the teachers like me? Because let's be real, we'll be transparent here. The other part of it is, you know, in all the schools where I taught, there were amazing teachers who were my corroborators, the people I'd meet with at happy hours. And there were teachers who were not having it, right? And not along for the ride and did not want to do things differently, status quo. And that was so frustrating for me. So really the heart of it is like, what if all of the rebel teachers, the creative teachers, those who are pushing the limits and trying to do things differently, what if they could connect easily, efficiently, and they could share ideas? So that's really the heart of what Curio is about.
Can I ask, I hear you say app, and I joined a while ago and then re-looked at it this week. Difference between an app and a website?
Yeah, so listen, I've gone down the tech rabbit hole over the past 3 years. I can't even begin to nerd out with you.
Well, what's important about the difference?
So it's a desktop, it's a web app. So it's similar to Dropbox, right? Like how Dropbox, you go online and you can access it. Google is a web app. It's a closed off space. So the code within Curio is back end, it's all closed off. So whereas like you can go to CurioLearning.com and that's a website because it's all free. Anybody can go to any website at any point, right? But Curio is a closed off, you have to log in and get in. And meaning it is still free, so it doesn't cost money, but it's a closed off section, mostly just because I don't want random people who aren't teachers in there, right? It's closed off for teachers, so that's why there is that user login and those kinds of things. It's just a subtle difference in access, really.
Cool. Kip, you can hear now and you're muted. Do you want to jump in with any further thoughts at this point?
No, I can hear now. I caught up. Any things? Did I miss any specific questions? It looked like I actually nailed it with the web app and things. Seem to be going good. And she did a great job articulating the history and sharing how we kind of met through the Gates Foundation opportunity. So that was Curio's been in my blood since the beginning, and it's been an honor for me to be part of the ride. So
go ahead.
I was actually going to say I'd like to hear Sam. But your questions. I was going to say, Sam is one of our first users. He found us on his own, so I think it's kind of cool. I love working with Sam and hearing his input on everything.
I always love hearing Sam's input. Go ahead, Sam. How did you come upon this, and why do you care about it?
Yeah, so partly, I was at it, when we were at NCT in November, and we go and meet all these amazing vendors, right? So I met amazing vendors, and simultaneously at the same time in November, I get an invite from Curio. So I'm assuming, I met them at the NCTE. Let me check it out. And I went and checked it out, and immediately there was like, it just intuitively, it made sense. Like I can build these stacks, I can build these cards. And I was literally probably planning, I was planning to go to the Deep Dive conference in San Diego. So as I was developing my plan for that, I'm like, I want a place where I could like organize what I'm going to present. And like I use Curio as like my organizing platform for my presentation. And unbeknownst to me, like Ashley basically does the same thing, right? I guess because it's like intuitive. But I thought I was smart when she's like, "Oh yeah, when I do presentations, I set up my stacks, and I go and I do my presentations." So that's kind of how it happened. But I think the connection was I was also a Gates in the Gates Foundation Teacher Advisory Committee, and I might have been on the list, and that's probably how I got the invite. But like I say, I really thought it was like I met Curio at NCTE, which Ashley said no, we weren't there. I'm like, oh okay, but I'm happy to say that like Curio, I think still you guys are going to be at ISTE here in Philly. That's coming up like next month, right?
Yeah, we are.
Talk a little bit about that. And yeah, so I'm excited. I think we're going to have another happy hour when during ISTE. You making it out to ISTE, Paul? Can you hear me, Paul?
I can hear you. Kit messaged that he can't hear you.
Oh man, it's doing being goofy again. So maybe it's goofy. Paul, can you hear me? Always something. So maybe I'll log out and come back in.
Hello?
I'm here.
Hello?
Yeah.
I can hear both of you. I can't hear Paul now.
Paul looks frozen to me.
Yeah. So while we kind of online,
This is weird. I can still hear you, Ashley. I can't hear Sam now.
Oh.
Well, there you have it, folks. There you have it. What were you
But that's okay.
What were you gonna say, Sam?
How was Denver happy hour?
Kit?
Like more details, like on the size,
Yeah.
and social vibe, and all that.
Kit, he's saying, how was the Denver happy hour? If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I can chat about that for a sec. No, it was really a powerful conversation. Will Anderson is a dear friend of mine, and a colleague who I met at the Gates Foundation when we did the teaching advisory council there. Will I found to be an immediate leader amongst leaders, and he wanted to dig deep into his staff end of the year, and basically kind of like why do you want to come back, more or less teacher retention, because their school has a really high rate of teacher retention, teachers staying beyond 10 plus years. Schools that I've been a part of have been hit or miss in that, So the teachers, and then he also brought in, outside of teachers, some of the supporting staff, the social workers, the school nurses, and like, what is it about their community that makes an environment that safe for these kids who love the school. So I took copious notes, tried to get some good pictures of them to highlight and share out what they're doing. And, but it was great. It's neat for me to see how it's kind of gone from Philly to Albuquerque. Like, every city's kind of got their own little niche, and I really feel as these start to move and shake across the U.S., our learning within the Curio community is definitively going to grow. So I'm ready to write and do a little bit of blogging about this, and capture some good quotes and some good visuals to share out with anybody who is interested or following Curio or interested in learning more about them. So I'll stop talking there. Great question, Sam.
And thank you, Kit, for running that. Hi, Paul.
Hi, I'm back, sort of.
Yeah. How was New Mexico, Ashley? How was Albuquerque?
So none of us, we weren't on site in New Mexico.
I know, it looked like it was cool, right?
Yeah, it did look. I mean, they really went above and beyond. It's Andrea Quintana. She's actually a former Gates TAC member as well, and not NBCT, I believe. And she and two of her colleagues kind of she really went with it, and I think they had like 40 people. It was their last day of school. So yeah. So, it was really cool. We had some malfunctioning with the Uber Eats, but it was really cool, and a lot of people got logged into Curio, and so yeah, I mean, it's kind of a cool thing. Kip and I talk a lot about, like, wouldn't it be cool if a year from now, you know, these are happening every week around the country, and it's a fun thing to think about, you know, sharing those ideas that teachers create.
And where are we up at next? Los Angeles or Hawaii?
Hawaii potentially. I think they told me June 6th, but I don't know that we have confirmation on that. LA is they're still planning.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And then coming back to Philly.
Yeah. So we got it. We'll sidebar plan for that. And want to make it bigger and better for sure.
Yeah.
Do you see me sideways, or how's this working?
Yeah. We can see.
Okay. Is that better? Who knows? Hey, so can I ask? I wanted to get this out of the way already, but let me ask. You're a sort of a new business, right? Can I ask a business question? Which
sure.
is, you know, we're all for entrepreneurs and educational entrepreneurs and so forth. But what is sort of, are you in this to make money? How are you going to survive? Like, what's your model here? Like, what are you trying to do? Is that a not bad question to ask at the beginning?
No, listen, I'll tell you, it is fascinating to me, just this world of this divide between teachers and for-profit companies. I get this question all the time, all the time, from teachers. You know, I think there's a little bit of suspicion about what's that about. First of all, no, again, I was a teacher last fall, right?
Yeah,
so like
right.
I just left the classroom. So